everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Claire. If you didn't know, well, now you do know. So today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. It's not going to be a book review, but it is going to be the BookTuber Newbie Tag that I found following a couple of new booktubers on BookTube. So let's just get right into it. If I'm looking down, it's because the questions are on my phone, so don't think I'm like ignoring y'all. I'm just looking down because I don't have them memorized. Okay, so the first question is, why did you start this channel? So I started this channel because I was really inspired by like Nikki's Book Nook and Larry reads and Leo reads as well. I just loved their channel and I was like, I read, like I would like to do what they do, and anytime I listen to Nikki's Book Nook or Larry reads, it just puts me in like a really good mood. So I kind of wanted to do that for other people or for y'all. So if that does that, I hope that it does, then that's kind of just the point of why I started this channel, is just to get out of I don't know, it's been a difficult couple of years, so just out of a bad mental space, and BookTube really did that for me, so that's why I started it. Okay, so second question is, what are some fun and unique things you can bring to BookTube? I guess that the fun and unique things that I can bring to BookTube is just that I'm going to try to read different things than other people read. Right now, I've just been on Colleen Hoover kick, but it's just always nice to get like a new, unique perspective on books and just hearing what other people like have to say about it. So I guess I'm not super unique, but I'm going to try to have like my own little twist on things, and I'm going to also try to do like a lot more reading vlogs and bring that to the channel. And I'm friends with some authors as well, and I'm going to also be like reading their books, and they're my friends that I graduated with. So I'm going to definitely be doing more of that, and maybe even like an interview with some of them. I don't know. So that would be unique. That would be fun. Next question. What are you most excited for about this new channel? I guess just like the journey that it's gonna go on. I know I haven't been on here super long, but I've already made like a couple of new friends and people that I talk to, and I talk to about books and whatnot. So that one aspect, and being able to talk to different people that love reading, and also just putting myself out there because I don't really do that too often, so that's really exciting for me. That was actually like a relatively quick answer. Look at me go. What's the next one? What book or series got you into reading? So, fun fact about me, I didn't always love reading. I started reading probably just like 2 or 3 years ago during COVID. I wasn't working. My husband likes to play video games, and I was kind of just like, no, spend all your time with me. And he was like, no, I feel like that's maybe not exactly the healthiest. We're always together anyways. Try to get a hobby. And I was like, I don't have a hobby. So I just kind of started reading, and then more reading. But I guess the series that really got me into reading would be one of Noelle Gallagher's recommendation, and that would be the Chloe Brown series. So this is the series that like got me back into reading these 3 books. The first one is Get a Life, Chloe Brown. The second one is Act Your Age, Eve Brown. And then the third one, which is my favorite, is Take a Hint, Dani Brown. So it just follows like the Brown sisters, and it goes from like the oldest to the youngest, or maybe vice versa. I don't really remember. But yeah, so these are definitely the books that got me back into reading. I absolutely love them. They're so good. And it was the first time I ever read any sort of smut. It has a little bit of like, they're pretty spicy books. Like, they're really, really good. The last book is my favorite. It's so good. And it was my first like 5-star read. Not just like 5 stars, but like, it just made me feel so good, and I laughed out loud, and it was so good. So that's definitely the series that got me back into reading. I read like Twilight and stuff in high school, but this time around, like, this really made me an adult and reading, if that makes sense. So those are the series that made me get into reading. What questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? I don't know. This one's kind of hard. I guess I would just ask them like why they started and like I guess like does having like a booktube impact what you end up reading? Like, does it push you into reading like more because you want to be able to be like, oh, I read like 57 books this month? Like, I would ask them that, like, do you actually want to read that much, or like, are you doing that because it just like sounds nice? I mean, I'm not trying to be like rude by saying that, but I hope that makes sense. Like, if you didn't have a book channel or a booktube, then would you actually still be reading all of those books? I'd be really curious. What challenges do you think starting a book channel will be the hardest to overcome? Just talking and like getting confident in front of the camera. That is my hardest thing that I have to overcome at all whatsoever. I get so nervous talking just like to a camera. I mean, I get nervous talking to like a lot of people regardless. Well, I'm a barista, so like I have to talk to people on the daily anyways, but like just sitting down in your room and filming and being confident in doing so, or at least like acting like you're confident in doing so, that was super, super tricky for me. It still is really tricky for me. That's the hardest thing, and trying to keep a schedule when I upload. So right now it's Tuesday and I want to edit and upload today or tomorrow. So just like trying to figure out my schedule and how that will work around like my job and life. When did you start reading? So, funny facts, I guess, like, I was always behind when it came to like reading and writing. I moved to the US. Well, I moved to like a English speaking country when I was relatively young, but I moved around a lot when I was younger, and I guess like my developmental skills were just like not that great, and my reading was super, super lacking. So I wasn't a big reader, and all of these people were like reading chapter books, and I weren't reading chapter books yet. I felt like such a loser back in the day, but that's okay. I mean, I spoke French at home, and I don't know, I just wasn't a big reader, like I said. So I started reading, like making it my hobby, probably about like 3 years ago, not too long ago. So a lot of these people had like 10 years ahead of me. I would have probably read Percy Jackson if I would have read like in high school. So I don't know. I wish I would have actually read more and gotten into reading. Where do you read? I love reading on the couch with like a big comfy sweater, big joggers on, like nice comfy sweatpants, just like my anxiety blanket on me, just like something just like really, really cozy with my dogs. I love reading in the bed, but sometimes like my neck starts to hurt and stuff, so mostly just like on the couch. I would love to get an egg chair for my garden. Y'all should like DM my husband and be like, get Clara an egg chair, because they just look so comfy. I want one outside, and I want to be able to read outside when it's like fall time. Yeah, so I really enjoy reading on the couch, and also like outside and in coffee shops and stuff, just like somewhere where I can just zone out and read. So just, yeah, I don't know. I guess the couch. That would have been like the simplest answer. What kind of books do you like to read? I really enjoy reading romance, smut. I enjoy reading, I guess like romance is like my big one. I would like to get into fantasy a little bit. I read like Ninth House. It's not really, well, I guess it is fantasy, thriller-y. I also read Night Circus last year, and I absolutely loved it, and it was like whimsical and very fantasy based, so I think that I want to dabble into fantasy, but right now I'm really just reading like romance, smut, fiction-y romance books. What does your book collection look like? Right now it's relatively small, but physically it's just like one bookshelf, and yeah, I have like just an array of things. Like I said, I mean, I'm looking right now. I have The Vanishing Half, The Maidens, Malibu Rising, Six of Crows, which I really want to read, Night Circus, Ninth House, my Colleen Hoover collection, some Penn Dougie, Red, White, and Royal Blue. I have like mostly romance. I guess it just looks like colorful romance books. Yeah, so, but I think that's the last of the questions. So if you are a booktuber, I tag you into doing it. If you want to do it, go ahead. It was really fun just talking about, let me just double check if this was actually like the last question before I like try to end this. Yeah, okay, it is. That was the last question. So, yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this. If you did, please go ahead, give my video a thumbs up, subscribe, click on the bell, and you'll be notified whenever I upload. That would be so wonderful, and it would make me very, very happy. So I don't know, I would say like I tag anybody that wants to do this. So, yep, go ahead. I hope that you have a very good night or day or afternoon wherever you are in the world. So I will talk to you very, very soon in my next video. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.